let me know something, guys. Um, to share, like, I need a big game from Jason Witten, y'all, and from Des Bryant, and Ezekiel Elliott, so, and Dak Prescott, so. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL.
All right, Larry, we are a couple miles west of the Colorado State Capitol building as we come to you from Sports Authority Field at Mile High here in downtown Denver. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Dallas Cowboys and the Denver Broncos. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'7" quarterback out of Memphis. It's Paxton Lynch.
And there's no getting around it. When you first look at Paxton Lynch, you see his height. You see 6'7". You can't get past it. But don't think that he's immobile. This guy has great footwork, quick feet, and moves around really well. And when you think you've got him hemmed in the pocket, he can escape in a big way and then beat you downfield with his arm.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was at the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said, these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. From the pistol, they run with Anderson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Okay. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And now the defense for Dallas.
Sean Lee is a linebacker with an exciting mix of tackling ability and coverage skills.
So 2nd and 9. Now they'll look to throw it with Lynch. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a pickup of 7, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. On 4th down, it's Riley Dixon on now to kick it away for Denver. Lucky Whitehead back deep for Dallas. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the former Mississippi State product, the mobile quarterback, Dak Prescott.
Let's try with a pass on 1st down.
Prescott looks to throw on 1st. Going right side, he has Witten. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Prescott now. And on the left side, he's got Witten. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. He's got size, the hands.
The speed. He can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Here's Prescott. And his pass incomplete. Jason Witten, the intended target. And it's 3rd and short. And a lot of the weight of this offense falls on the shoulders of the running back.
That's because the offense knows if they give him any openings, any opportunities, he could turn it into a big play at any time.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Prescott on 3rd and 2. Complete to Jason Witten. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
A first down carry by Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Dang it. Can't believe I missed that, y'all.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. A strong running. And in the end, the decision to bring it out costs him a few yards as he's out of bounds, getting set to take the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance. Because you're punting.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Really? They get 31 yards that time. And it'll be good for a Denver first down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
He's going to let it go again. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller's sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Now Anderson, and he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Big boys down there in the trenches and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense, and what a big-time play there.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away, but that brings up 4th. Here's Riley Dixon now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away.
Come on, baby. Let's go score
The Broncos
another
defense
touchdown.
getting ready
Let's
to
get the
go.
field goal
And
this
it's the
time.
first quarter, but they gave up the score last time. How important is it here not to fall 2 scores behind?
Extremely important because not only are you trying to avoid being in a big deficit to start this game off, you also want to get into a pattern where that offense has the advantage. You've got to find a way to turn things around. This is the series to begin that.
Yeah, we'll see if they can keep them off the scoreboard here for a second time. That one goes for 36 yards.
Not the tallest receiver on the field, but he just shattered the myth that the little guy can't go downfield and make a big-time catch on a deep pass because sometimes they'll just out-scrap you for the football.
Prescott on first down. Bryant with a catch right side. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. A give to Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And now a peek at the starters on the defensive side.
That, but okay.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. Second down, Prescott. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
On third down, it's Prescott. Can't find anyone open. This will be caught just inside the 10. They get 7 there, but it brings up fourth. Having an effective short passing game, one of their main concern coming into this one, right there, able to hit the D with a quick strike and a first down.
And you're able to put that into your game plan when you see that there's space to throw the football. A lot of defenses don't want to play press coverage or tight coverage. They'll play backed off, and sometimes those cornerbacks will bail out really fast and really get deep, and that allows you to throw the quick game underneath, and they took advantage of it.
So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Oops, sorry, y'all.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
For some reason, my controller does that. I don't know why.
And the Cowboys defense, they march back out onto the field. They're hoping to do what they did last time, force another punt. Last time it resulted in a field goal. We'll see if they can get another stop here, though.
And the best defenses are in the business of preventing points and creating points. And that's exactly what these guys did on their last possession. Why? Because they...
And down he goes. The pressure getting to Lynch. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him. And it'll be a loss of about 8. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rush. Tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's third down for this offense. It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Now Paxton Lynch on third and long. And he'll just toss it away.
Got rid of that one.
So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. That's pulled in at the 32.
Dang it.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3 points?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe. That was another good run, and he's having an excellent day. And right now, I don't think his team could have any more confidence in handing him the football.
Again, it's Elliott. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Well, after what we just saw, we know that with 3rd down coming up, this is not a gimme for the offense. They've got to figure out what they want to do. Do they challenge their offensive line and try and run it? Or do they go ahead and concede that this is a tough defense and put it in the air?
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
To the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip, tap, got him down? But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a 1st down. They're just 1 yard. Got to get to the 26 for a 1st. This is 3rd down. And again, it's Prescott. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And Dez has got it. Dez Bryant for the Cowboy touchdown. Dez Bryant, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
Another phenomenal play by Dez Bryant. I would dare say that we expect him to catch the ball, even one-handed, way more than we expect him to not catch it. He works at it. He has the body type for it, those long arms, and he's so strong, and his grip is terrific. If you shake his hand, you'll find that out. One of the reasons they're able to go up and get it, they work at it incessantly. And Dez Bryant, he's one of the best in the game at doing it.
And he atones for his miss the first time around, as this one is up and good to extend their lead.
Still streaming.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. Little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
I'm still streaming, buddy. I'm still streaming.
They start the drive with Anderson.
Right.
And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Okay.
Now, that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Sorry,
Second down, 9 yards to go. On second down, here's Lynch.
Oh.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Thought he had me, Ethan. Three, 1, 2.
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. They'll come out in the pistol. On third down, Lynch. And caught, right side, Green. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth.
If they catch it, they're sure.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. This is taken at about the 14. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
It takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. It'll be a gain of 9 here.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Didn't even get the play off, dude.
At the end of one, 16-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down.
Sorry, y'all.
They come out here in the eye.
Again, too much coke.
They keep on the ground with Elliott, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Looking to throw. Prescott going right side. He has Witten. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6.
Oh, man.
Prescott now from the 50. He completes it to Bryant. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Second down, Prescott. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go out of bounds down inside the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And those first downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Let's try the other direction, y'all. Nope. Let's try past it.
They come out here in the eye. From the red zone now, Prescott. And on the left side, he's got Witten. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They'll try the right side with Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown.
Yeah, another touchdown.
Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on.
Man,
just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Bailey now for the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go.
Yeah.
That time a 9-play drive, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott.
Zeke.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays for one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. In the backfield is Anderson. A fake to Anderson, now it's Lynch. And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things, and they've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
Lynch looking to throw on 2nd. He's got Floyd out left. That one goes for 24 yards. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it.
Here's Lynch to throw. On the right side, caught by Green. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. In the backfield is Anderson. On second down, Lynch. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. 6 plays got him down here. This is play number. Lynch with it on 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Michael Floyd. And that'll bring up a 4th down. So on 4th down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. This just a 24-yard attempt. And McManus able to put it through, and that'll get this back down to a 20-point spread. So a good kick there, and they finish off the drive with 3.
And that should be the goal for an offense. Finish each drive with points. So that's a nice job there to come away with at least something.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Well, when it's fielded in the, or right at the goal
now
line.
Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Here's Elliott, and he'll be brought down here at the 28. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
6 yards.
Some runs are blocked so well. You almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Prescott now on second down. On the left side, he finds Beasley. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Now,
Man, I'm sorry, yo.
He's got time in the pocket. And Beasley with it over the middle. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. It's a gain of 24 that time. And it'll be first down, Cowboys. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
To throw is Prescott.
Oh,
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That stunk.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. On third down, it's Prescott. Finding time. And he can't hang on to it.
Man,
Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead it just brings up 4th down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
This has neither the distance nor the accuracy. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So a bit of a weird kick there. That wasn't an overly long attempt, but that never had a chance.
You almost wonder if he might have got that one on the laces because it kind of knuckled on him a bit. And this one winds up in empty possession.
It's It happens, guys. It happens.
Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
And now Lynch completes it over the middle to Floyd. And
Wow.
he's taken down, but
What
not
a
before
catch.
getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front, they moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Oh, yeah? Let's see if they can find some space now.
On second down, here's Lynch. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third. Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third. From the gun on third down, it's Lynch. It's brought in by Floyd.
Really?
A gain of 11 and a first down.
You're a lion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. First down. Here's the run with Anderson. Anderson loses the football. Oh, jumping over.
How do we not get the ball back? It was right there.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Lynch looking to throw on second. On the right side, caught by Green. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. This will be play number 7 on the drive, 3rd and a yard. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. This will be caught just inside the 10. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after
Pushing the option button, y'all. Come on, man. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to reach for my charger. I think I got it now, y'all.
3 to 4 steps and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Is he going to run the dang ball?
Out of the gun, Lynch. That is caught at the 7-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Lynch to throw again. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Demaryius Thomas, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos cut into that lead.
As they began this last drive, things weren't exactly looking up for this offense. But after what they just did, putting the ball in the end zone, that took them away from the brink of possibly being knocked out of this game.
So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos.
Yep.
Whitehead, the return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
30-yard line, y'all.
Now Dak Prescott and the offense heading back onto the field. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. First down, Prescott. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
My bad. Got to push start again. I didn't back up. My bad. Now I got to put it all on the freaking hey, cool, the thing that the camera goes on landed on its it basically landed on its feet, y'all. I'm fixing the camera so that y'all could see. Gotta bend way down here to get it. Really? Oh. Man, now I just dropped the remote. But man, don't worry, I'll get it, y'all. Y'all just may have to stay here for a while. Let's fix the camera first. Don't go under there, you stupid bowler. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all just came over here to watch a game. Okay, I picked the tripod up, so now hopefully I won't be upside down. Nope. I'm fixing it. Sorry, y'all. Fixing my camera. There we go. Put the camera right there. Now I gotta pick up the remote, y'all. This should be fun. I gotta raise my armrest. I promise I'll get back to the game as soon as I possibly can. Y'all go get some snacks or whatever till I fix it. Okay, I got that one. Got the charger. Now I'm gonna back the chair up. Back it up so I can't get my feet stuck in stupid camera anymore. Camera cord. Got my foot stuck in the camera, so the camera cord, so y'all can see me now. And okay, now let's see if I can't stick my charger back on the remote. Okay, now we can resume the game, I think.
Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
A first down throw for Prescott. He hits Beasley right side. And he's brought down. Give him 13 on the pickup there. And the Cowboys are going to get a first down. And partner, a nice little connection there on the corner route.
The receiver set it up perfectly, worked his way inside, and then broke it back to the outside for the completion.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And this one complete to Witten over the middle. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we send you on down to our studios in Orlando, where standing by is Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Broncos are having trouble slowing down the passing game. The Cowboys have done great work in that area these last 2 games, and they'll just look to...
All right, hang on here. We'll jump over halftime. Just let the system and graphics catch up. Okay, all set. 3rd quarter now. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on 2nd down.
With that kind of run on 1st down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
Out left side here to Bryant. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And that's caught by Beasley. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
This is Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Bryant, the lone receiver, left. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
On 1st and 10, Prescott.
Oh, man.
And that's incomplete.
I should never thrown that.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Elliott.
Man,
and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Man, every time I hit square, my finger does that.
Looking to throw. Prescott. It's caught by Bryant. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Now Elliott. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So,
and he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with his third touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes can prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25.
He had no choice.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10, kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
They run. Anderson. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
I was anticipating a run. You saw 2 dudes right there.
They go play action here on first down. Pass incomplete.
Man.
C.J. Anderson, the intended target. And it's second down. Second down following the incompletion. False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
They slug it out.
So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's second and long. Now a run with Anderson. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Now Paxton Lynch on 3rd and long. On the right side, caught by Green. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Riley Dixon now. as he's on for the 5th time here today.
Riley Dixon.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away.
Let's go. Back in the end zone. Thank you.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the defensive unit now for the Broncos as they get set here. And with this deficit, let's be honest, it's time for them to get a stop.
And partners, you understand very well from our time together and visiting with coaches, defensive coordinators tend to be a little more emotional, a little more high-strung than others.
They are.
I have a feeling that speech came out about taking a stand and bowing up in this possession.
Yeah, that's where this word pride comes out, right?
In a big way.
They come out here in the eye. Prescott on first down. And on the left side, he's got Witten. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know I should have never thrown
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Second down, Prescott. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
Prescott, he's got time. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered, and he was able to get a hand in and knock it away.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. Taken in at the 22. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Denver getting set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
And down he goes. The pressure getting to Lynch.
I think I hit his legs. Yep.
Oh, and the defender took some liberties there with a late hit, roughing the passer.
The league has done a great job of defining what is a late hit and illegal contact on a quarterback. The defenders really have to get in line.
Sorry, everybody. Didn't mean to cuss like that, but...
On first down, it's Lynch.
It happens.
Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
They're just gonna freaking do that all freaking day. They're gonna try to come back, y'all.
Another tote here for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Anderson. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. See if they stay on the ground for second down.
But that's just me.
Handoff comes to Anderson. And he's got some space here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. but it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. C.J. Anderson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos get a bit on there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's C.J. Anderson who tops it off with the touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Okay. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Oh, if he's good. If he's going to be that wide open.
Prescott now on second down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play here for Dallas. 45 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
They go to Elliott again, and he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a third and about 9 to go.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Play clock winding down. On third down, it's Prescott. And this is caught at the 8. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, they made the play there, and I'll guarantee you their coaches and the other players are screaming at them about their pride. Come on, guys. He's already gotten in 3 times. You can't give up a 4th one. And on that play, they were able to make the stop.
And you knew they were going to go to him to try to get that 4th.
And why wouldn't they? It's not just getting the 4th. He's the hot hand, so to speak, right? The hot feet in this situation, and he knows how to find the end zone. That time he just didn't get there. Brandon, now we find out what their definition of commitment is. They've run it on the first 2 plays. Do they come back and do it again? They're that much closer to getting into the end zone.
Yeah, inching closer and really knocking on the door now. They'll try to run it in with Elliott, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott taking it in. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the second extra point he's missed so far.
Duh. I bet. But y'all see the score, don't you?
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Fourth quarter, baby.
3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. On 1st and 10, it's Lynch surveying the field. And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here. Close there. He caught it, just wasn't able to stay in bounds.
And that's where the sideline, it was used as a 12th defender. You know, 11's legal. This one is an imaginary one that my college coach used to call Sammy Sideline. Sammy Sideline can protect you at times, and in this case, that's exactly what he did for the defenders.
That's what they call a squat route.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. In the backfield is Anderson. From midfield now, here's Lynch. He's got Floyd out left.
Keep calling that
7
play,
yards,
boy.
the pickup on the pitch and catch. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
A fake to Anderson. Now it's Lynch. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
And the O-line will have to do a better job protecting here on 3rd down after that sack. Now Paxton Lynch on 3rd and long. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
Here we go. Lynch on 4th down. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to go up top again. Now this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. On the counter, Elliott. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Prescott now from the 50. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Just trying to bleed the time off the clock, yo.
Prescott from the gun on third. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Third down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. Paxton Lynch now, he gets set and heads back onto the field. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
Too quick to the trigger that time. Neutral zone infraction, and that'll cost him 5 yards.
I'll show you neutral zone infraction.
From the gun, it's Lynch. Finding time. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete.
Yep,
now that'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it.
Yo.
Lynch looking to throw on second. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
On 3rd and 1, it's Lynch. And able to find Green. A big play there on the catch and run. 45 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Okay.
Throwing here, Lynch on first down. Man open left side is Brown. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
Throwing, Lynch. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line.
They're trying to come back, y'all.
So they're operating in the red zone.
Yeah. And your point is what?
From the red zone now, here's Lynch. Lynch fighting. He fumbles. He lost the football.
Of course. And of course we don't get it back.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Third down now. It's C.J. Anderson. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Here we go. Lynch on 4th down. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Cowboys defense is going to get him the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels.
The give is to Elliott. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. And they're just a couple of yards shy of a 1st down here on 3rd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Now we look at C.J. Anderson as he trots back out there and gets set to go on offense. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you want to. But as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
On 2nd down, here's Lynch. Screenplay, Anderson.
Damn it.
And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
Now Lynch to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. To throw again is Lynch. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there, a drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Yeah. You think?
Once again, it's Lynch. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. He usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now this is incomplete. Gary Kubiak's guys denied on 4th down. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away.
Really
they want to
block,
run their offense
yo.
and have it end up in the end zone.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive. And when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
Now Prescott, and that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. They come up in an offset eye. Here's Prescott. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Aqib Talib. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step one. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, fourth quarter. Now it's Lynch. He's got time. Man open left side is Brown. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
They'll throw on first down with Lynch. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Tyrone Crawford in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
Lynch looking to throw on second. Green with a catch left side. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So 3rd and 15 and an extra defensive back in the game now.
Flooding the passing lanes.
Here's Lynch looking deep downfield. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
Here we go. Lynch on 4th down. And this is caught. Demaryius Thomas. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground. And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. One man in the backfield, Elliott. And he'll get it up the middle.
Man, why can't y'all
And
block
he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away.
Salt this one away.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run with Elliott. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Darian Stewart there to bring him down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. But they went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Shut up.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. But that was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Throwing here, Prescott. And on the left side, he's got Witten. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. And look at the numbers, a repeat performance. It seems right now it doesn't matter how many guys they're going to put on him, he's going to catch the football.
And when you hit that zone, and that's what he's in right now with what the offense coordinator's doing. He's a primary target. He looks at his play sheet, knows he wants to get him the football, and has designed some routes effective for the last 2 weeks. He's really been fun to watch.
Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard, you're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
Subscribe.
So for the Cowboys, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll fall to 1-4.